Hey friends, today is Monday, October 22nd, 2018. And it must be somewhere around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm getting ready to walk up into those woods there. I'm going to walk on down the road and then go up in. Once I get up there, I'm going to walk back past the vehicle and check the woods out down that way, and then I'll walk back to it. It's about 45, 50 degrees out right now. On a bad day. You know, instead of walking all the way down the road, going up in, I think I'm gonna walk right up in here, not far off the road, and walk down. But then I'll go up in deeper and come back this way. That way I put some more time in the woods. Got the bench where it is located at. This is Dutch Run. I got the little vehicle there parked on Dutch Run Road. Nice big shagbark hickory there. There comes the leaf on its one-way trip to the ground. Oh. Big old tree fell down there years ago. See, the only thing that jumps out at you is something like this. Yes, there's nowhere that could have fallen from that I can see. And get in between the forks of that. Oh, it's a maple tree with the big end up. But I can hear some of the winter birds move back in the area, like the nuthatches and chickadees. Woodpecker, I can hear them making some noises out ahead of me. Something broke that over. Well, there's another one broke there, tree break. Maybe 6 feet off the ground, looks like a little maple sapling. But look at these trees. The tops of them all look in good shape, healthy. Looks like I'm standing under a witch hazel bush, and the tops all look in good shape. I just can't figure out where this came from. Look at this thing, stuck in the ground. And Rambling around there somehow. I think I'm going to go out that way a little ways yet because I saw a full-size big oak tree standing out there, dead on its feet, standing there with no bark at all on it. It was a pretty good sized tree. I want to see if I can locate it again. I noticed this little bend as I was walking by. Look how little it is. I mean, there's my hand. But look, it goes up, over, and down, and it was put under this, I think. That's what's holding it down, but that thing itself is under stuff. And this is the big end here. Huh. I don't know how that little bugger got under there. We always called these little things ground pines. Look at that. About the smallest bend I've ever seen, I think. I know that tree was on out that way, so I'm gonna have to be working out that way. We just had our second frost of the year last night. I think we had our first one about a week ago. Sure has made it nicer for walking in the woods without having all the insects flying around trying to bite you. Look like something kicked the leaves up here. Got them disturbed. Must have went down through there kicking the leaves with its feet. Well, I gotta figure out a way to get on out there, and I don't think I want to go through that. Looks like a bunch of greenbrier, and you know how I don't like that stuff. I'm going to go a little higher and then out, see if I can find some clear walking. Well, I wonder who stuck those old dead things in that young little beech tree trying to get going there. Well, they're dead. They haven't been growing for a long time now. Yeah, let's see. Well, that sure is a strange pattern. Let's see, that tree's got maple leaves on it, but look at the pattern on that bark. It's just really odd. I think that greenbrier pushed me higher up on the hill than I was planning on going, just to try to skirt around it. Because it was kind of thick down that way. Looks like it might thin out a little bit, but look what it pushed me up against up here. Look at that. Big old X. Put together in three trees that look like they're about half dead, not growing very well. There's something wrong with them because those are maple trees, and look at the blemishes on them. The bark has got that same kind of bark as I just showed a little bit ago. That's a pretty good size X. If I can find that big tree that is dead out there, I'm going to use that as my turning point to swing even higher on the hill, on the ridge, and start my walk back. Get up through here a little ways. Oh wow, looks like another X out in front of me there. Huh. Yeah. My wife has mentioned that it seems like the construction that we're finding in the woods lately is getting bigger and bigger. There it is. Oh. And it's right in front of a sycamore. Kind of odd finding a sycamore this high up on the ridge. They usually grow in very wet places. They remind me of cypress trees. Look at them. Oh, look at this thing. Well, the one leg of that is old dead limb. It's part of the sycamore. Still on it. Oh yeah. Maybe I could get out through here. Shut this camera off. Make my way out through there. Let's see that. Look how that goes. Starts down there, really. Comes up around there. Turns. Almost a complete circle. Huh. It's growing on a small fallen log. Evening sunshine. You can see the shadow of the GoPro. Well, folks, I hate that I seem to have missed that big dead tree I was trying to tell you about. I wanted to show it to you, but I think that I may have walked past it, higher on the ridge above it, because the greenbrier kind of shoved me up this way, and I didn't think it was this far. And I'm thinking I'd like to get up near the top, start walking back, because I don't know if you can tell from looking up that way. You can see light coming through, and I did see a field out that way when I first started coming down the road, and the woods are getting thinner and thinner now, tree-wise, and the field is starting to crowd in from the top. And since I'm running out of woods, I get a feeling I should make an about face, kind of go up the hill more and start walking back the other way. I come across another X. It's got long legs on the bottom, and it crisscrosses, oh, I'd say 25 feet off of the ground or so. But there is an X shape on the top of it. Wow. I just heard something that sounded like a child wailing away or screaming or something. But it was pretty faint for me. It was behind the way I'm looking now into the direction where I'm going to go. I may go out through there just a little bit more before I swing up. There's another shot of what I was looking at before I get totally out of the area. And I don't know what made that sound, because no way there's any little kids out here. Look how this tree bend is configured. It's a little maple sapling. Still growing there. Comes up over here and down to there. And this one is not holding it. It's on the other side of it. But this one is. This one was placed there to lay on that, or lie on it. And this was put under it. Amazing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's something more in the woods than the wind. Wind can't do 3- and 4-step constructions like that. And the sounds that I hear, though I know they're not all animals. Got one behind me. Sounds pretty much like the cry of a woodpecker, but not completely. Oh, look at this. Why do they like X's so much? Now that one is still alive, still got leaves on it. Looks like a dogwood. The bend that's bowed over that way is another maple. Together they make an X. But so does this dead one that's put up in the midst of those two living ones. Makes an X right there. Interesting work. Sure like X's around here. Some woods I've been in, it seems like they were crazy about stacking broken sticks up in the trunks of trees where they grew up off of the ground, and the tree would split into about 5 trunks, maybe a foot or 2 off the ground. Made an opportunity to put a whole lot of, I guess some guys call them an asterisk or something like that. But this one here, they seem, I don't know, like they get a kick out of making X's. So far anyway. I've seen a few of them here. Quite a few. Well, I'm almost on top of this ridge. I went up higher than I was planning on going. It looks like if I keep going, I want to step out into a field. So instead, I want to keep my elevation here, and I'm going to start heading out that way to get near the vehicle so I can drop down to it when I'm ready to go. Boy, that looks like a radical bend over there. I think I'll walk over and take a look at it. Yes, I'd say that's rather radical. An acute bend. And it may be that that large one, I can see it is what's holding it down, but I don't know how it brought it down. It fell beside it. How could it have grabbed that little skinny thing way on the top and maintained its grip? That's an oak. That oak would have resisted and tried to stay up straight, but it's got a hold of the very end of it up there, and it's placed under or shoved under or somehow got under that heavy one. It always leaves you with a question mark. You see things like this in the woods, because some of them could have, no doubt, some are natural. They do things on the way to the ground. They catch a hold of other things, but there are just too many of them that just couldn't be when you study them for a little while. And I think that's what fools most people. They walk around in the woods hunting, and they see things like this, and they're looking for something else. And they just attribute it to nature and never stop to consider applying the physical laws of nature as to how some of this stuff could be like that when it actually had to be placed like that. It couldn't just fall like that. And then there are some that are like this here, that it could go one way or the other. I think. I still don't know how. If that oak sapling, which is growing, was standing way up there, its top is the thinnest part of it, was way up there. And when that big, I don't know what that is, it kind of looks like a pine, or could even be a sassafras, but usually they don't grow that straight. Now how that big thing got a hold of that little top, it must be 2.5 inches in diameter, and held on to it somehow without slipping, and pulled the rest of that big oak sapling down, and held it so tight, look, it splintered and shattered the back end of it. Then, what pulled this down? Pulled it down so hard from where it was sticking way up there that it didn't bend over like that oak. It snapped. It was pulled so hard it broke up there. And there it is. I don't know how to explain that stuff. It's a mystery. Amazing. Listen to the wind in the top of the trees. I don't know if the GoPro will pick them up, but it's pretty loud if you're here in person. Came down out of there. And how do you like that? Right there is the old vehicle. Oh, you can't complain about that. Right smack in the right spot. Right beside this little bird nest. That was home to some little birds. I don't know exactly what kind. I don't know if a wood thrush would build a nest that low to the ground or not. Some little bird family that probably left already, migrating south before the big snows come. Sure is amazing, part of a great design. They'll be back again next year. I'll probably come back to the exact same woods. Well, time to get down there. Oh, I have me a cup of coffee and a sandwich waiting for me in the old Escape. This is that log I looked at, pointed out from down below there somewhere when I first came into the woods. It's been lying here for a while. It's actually a fork of a tree. Yep, it's been here for a long time. Well, Ford, you ready to go again? All right, get them doors unlocked. We got to get out of here.